to do today, as you probably saw in the thumbnail. There's quite a few of them, and this is only part of them. We got another batch over there. I think another 5 knives or so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the serrated knives. Now, when I talk to the customers, I always let them know that on the serrated knives, we come in from the back. So they may see a little bit of a bevel on the back of their knife. It's an easier way to do it, especially when our serrations are still good. Okay. So, and with this belt that we use, it's very, it does a good job, but it's not real aggressive. It's supposed to be 600 grit, but it's not real aggressive. So it doesn't leave a really definitive mark on the back of the knife. So we just come in this way, almost flat. And I need to adjust where the camera's at here. I want you guys to be able to see, but I got to be able to move too. And I can already see I'm getting burr on this. And I'll show you here in a second. Okay. So here's the back of the knife. And you can see there's hardly any kind of a bevel there. There you might be able to see a little bit, but there's hardly any bevel on this at all. And we do have a burr everywhere, but right here at the edge. That looks pretty good. So that's how I do our serrateds. Almost. Yep. And what I'm looking at is the burr. Now steak knives like this are a little different. Do them the same way. And as you can see, there's already a little bit of a bevel on the back anyway. So okay. And then I'll show you, I got one other kind of knife too. It's a little bit different kind of serrated. These steak knives are not real expensive steak knives. They're just typical household steak knives. These are IKEA. And then this is the other type I'm doing. And these are just Favorware. This sounds a lot rougher than it is. Like I said, these belts are not very aggressive. Okay. And again, for those of you just joining, I see a lot of you are on. There's the back of the knife. You can see it really. Let me show you the one I didn't sharpen yet. Okay. And we sharpen it, we end up with a little bit of a bevel. Right there, you can see it. But as I said, I always explain to the customer the way we do these. And especially with your less expensive knives, it's really not a big deal. I'm just looking to see if I got a burr all the way across. So we are looking good on that one. Holmes Park Knife Sharpening. We're based in Aurora, Illinois, and run our small shop, small business, and certainly would be helpful if you guys could hit that like button for me. Helps our little business out. And if you'd like to see more sharpening, we do all kinds of stuff when we're sharpening. We do sometimes I do more blades, scissors. It's all kinds of stuff that we sharpen. So if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Special today, it's all free. Subscribing and liking. So that'd certainly be appreciated. Would help us out with the YouTube algorithm, and we do get some business from people who've seen our YouTube channel. Usually we got to go back and forth on this belt a number of times. These serrated knives, the burrs really tend to want to hold on. And then we finish it up on our leather just to give it a nice sharp edge. And I can see if there's burr left on these as I'm running back and forth, running across. I know it's hard to see on the camera if there's burr pulling up. And sometimes on the serrateds, run at a little bit at an angle across here, kind of helps to get that burr loosened up. Yep, looks good. These should be fairly easy. So where are all of you guys watching from? Wondering if how many people from different states are watching, different countries. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Got a couple more here and then we'll get these all cleaned up. I'm going to finish all the serrateds from beginning to end, and then we'll move on to the other knives, the chef's knives and fillet and utility knives that I have over there. Okay. Last one here. Okay, so that's it for the serrated knives. So let's come back over here. Oh, if I don't drop the camera on you guys. And after we do all that, clean them off with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. I'm just checking for burr. Make sure it's all gone. Let's just see how we did with these. There you go. So serrateds generally don't cut quite as easy as a straight knife when you're going through paper, but if it's cutting the paper like that, it's sharp. So for those of you that, oops, sorry about that. Those of you who just joined us for sharpening up some knives this morning. I started with these serrated knives. Then we're going to move on to the regular knives. And it'd, again, be appreciated if you guys would give the video a like. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of what we do. And by all means, leave some comments. We always like chatting with you guys when we're sharpening. Kind of keeps things moving along. Okay, so these are all cleaned up. So I've already cheated a little bit, and I pre-made some of my sheaths. I'll show you what I did. I cut my sheaths in half for these. There's no sense in using a full sheath when you can double up on them. And I have a little bin behind me. I'll show you that when we're done. Then I put all the knives in when they're waiting for the customer to pick up. Okay. I think this will fit in one of the shortened ones. Yep. Okay. Okay, so now we're down to these knives. These are all regular knives. So these we're going to start on the 407 and 120 belt. Yep. When I'm running my finger across the back of this, I'm feeling for the burr. Just to make sure we have a burr all the way across the knife. No, that one I'll do in a second. On the fillet knife, when they have a recurved edge like that, you don't want to go up into the belt this way. That belt can catch that curve. So when we do these, I generally do these edge trailing, so I'm doing them down this way. So let's move down to our 600 grit belt. This one just refines that edge, gets rid of some of the burr. Gives it that extra little bit of sharpness. That's sharp. That is sharp. And I'm going to have to replace my tape. This is starting to stick on me. Okay, a couple of more, then we'll get rid of those burrs, polish up those edges. Here we go with the fillet knife again. It seems like these fillet knives, you can always see the burr really easy. Okay. Add a little bit of compound. Again, the Scotch-Brite wheel just helps to remove any burr. And then the leather wheel polishes up that edge. We don't want to over polish. You want a little bit of a bite left on the knife. If you've ever had a knife that's like really razor sharp with no bite left on it, it actually can give you some problems cutting things like tomatoes that have a skin, because there's nothing to break into that skin. Paring knife. And the fillet knife. And I can see that burr kind of flying off. Once it looks like all that burr is gone, then I go head down to the leather wheel. Okay. So let's do our check on these. See how they came out. See if I can get you all squared away here. So you can see what's going on. We grab a piece of paper. Okay, here we go. Perfect. Whoop. Got a little bit of burr on that one. Sometimes, if you get a little micro burr on there, and there is one on here, it's catching that same spot. That's one reason why I like doing this paper test, because you know if you got any burr left on there. Okay, now we're good. Well, that's not good. Huh. Let's see if this one's burr. Yeah, this one's burr. I already felt it. And sometimes just running it through the paper like that will strip any micro burrs off. See? My paper's getting awful short here. Okay. And a fillet knife. Probably my paper. Nope, this one I'm gonna hone down a little bit too. Because these fillet knives should be really sharp. Okay, let's try it again. There you go. Nope, I still got something on there. No, it's gone. Yeah, that one's good. Okay, guys, let me clean up all my paper here. I got, once I'm done with these, I got like 5 more regular knives over there that I'll bring over. And we'll take care of those. These we just got to get cleaned up. The other thing I've noticed too, the warmer the weather gets and the more humidity we get, the harder it is for me to do those paper tests, because the paper actually absorbs the humidity from the air. It gets a little bit damp. And once that paper gets damp, there's almost no cutting it. It just, no matter how sharp the knife is, it does not like cutting through damp paper. So, and normally the other thing is I normally clean the knives first. And I didn't do that this time, just to make sure that any compound that's left on that edge is gone. Because any compound that's on this edge will stick to the paper and make you think that you've still got a dull knife when you don't. So I make sure to clean that edge off really well. Okay. So we'll get these in the, whoops, dropped one. Not the knife, I dropped the sheath. Okay, there we go. So once I've done all that, I put them in the bin for that customer, like so. And then we can go get the next batch. There's only, I think, 5 or so in this next batch. Let me grab those. Okay. So she brought back, sorry, keep hitting that camera. This is a return customer. So she brought back a couple of sheaths from last time and one that came with the knife. So we will use those. So there's the knives. So again, we'll start with our 407 belt. Just checking the sound on my other phone. So I'm not seeing any of you guys commenting. Usually we get a bunch of comments and questions. If you have any, be sure to post them in there. Even if you just want to say hi, that would be great. Okay, that one's good. Okay. So I'll go down to our 600 grit belt. You guys, again, if you hit that like button and subscribe, it'd be much appreciated. Helps us out with YouTube and the algorithm and helps our small business out. Okay, let's head down to our wheels. It's about time for me to clean this leather wheel. I actually like cleaning off that leather wheel from time to time. Seems like when this leather wheel is clean, it does a little bit better job for me. These probably don't need to be run across the Scotch-Brite. Because between the 600 belt and the leather, it's really not a whole lot of burr. I'll just breeze it across there real quick just to make sure we get any large pieces of burr off. Okay. Let's go ahead and check these out. You mean like when I go to test them or whatever? The compound, I'm not seeing it because I just cleaned that wheel a little while ago. But the compound tends to build up on the wheel. And when it does, you'll see little black marks along the bevel. Just right here along the bevel. You can see that compound stuck on the knife. And when that happens, it affects the cutting of the knife when I'm testing them. And yeah, I don't like running too much across that leather wheel because I don't want to get basically I don't need a razor sharp edge. I want a little bite left in it. So by running it across the Scotch-Brite wheel, it gets rid of probably 99% of that burr that's on there. Then I can get away with running maybe once across the leather wheel just to make sure we got a good edge without polishing it so much that we've gotten rid of the bitiness of that edge. Okay. So let's see with our wet paper. And I say wet because it's so humid out today. See how we're cutting. That one's good. It's good. It's good. That one's a little bitey. More bitey than I'm used to. Okay, I'll come back to that one in a second. This one I may have to come back to also. Yep, this one's a little bitey. I kind of thought that was going to happen. So, with these last two, just going to hit it with the leather strap a little bit. Okay. Check it once more just to be sure. There you go. There you go. Okay, so those are all set. Got to put them in some sheaths. As I said, she brought a couple of sheaths with her, so we can just reuse those. That one I think goes in here. I'm going to have a couple of I'll need one more sheath for this one. And let's see how long this thing is. Yeah, we can cut this one down. Usually if it hits that halfway point or less, then I'll go ahead and cut the sheath down. So there we go. So those are all set. Guys, we're all done. We got all those knives done pretty quick. How long have we been on? 42 minutes? And I did, what was there, 13 in the first batch? 40, 50, 60, 18, 20 knives, something like that. So we did pretty good. So, okay, guys, appreciate it if you hit that like button. Subscribe so you can see more of our videos. Helps us out with YouTube and with our business. We do get a little bit of business from people who've caught us on YouTube and then start bringing us knives. That'd be certainly appreciated. And I think we're done for today, but I'm sure we'll be getting more stuff in and we'll go live again as soon as we get some more stuff to sharpen. We appreciate you guys watching. Hope you're all having a great day and have a great weekend. We'll see you in the next one.